morning, Francis. You know, the bingo story is such a big story. I can't believe they told me to interview you. I mean, I hope I remember and cover everything that needs to be covered in bingo.
Well, I hope I remember too. It's a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's just kind of an aside, but you and I have known each other since the 8th grade, right?
Correct.
8th grade.
Yeah.
And to me, I know this, but a lot of people don't know it. And I think it's interesting that you were born in El Centro, right?
Right.
El Centro.
Right.
I mean,
right at the border.
and you're the only person. Oh no. Bel Ito was also born down in the Imperial Valley.
Oh, I
someplace.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, to get started, gosh, I really don't know where to get started. But tell me, when you first, tell me how you first got started with ACC, and then that will go into bingo.
Well, I think I have you to blame for all that, Gloria. And you're the one that suggested that I be on the board. And I think that I have a letter from Chuy Ito welcoming to the board in 1980.
Wow.
Yeah, and so that's when it all started. So, you know, I know very little about the Japanese JCS and things, but I've learned a lot from the previous episodes and watching, and I knew some things, and I really learned a lot. But now we're, I guess, at 1980.
Yeah, well, you know what I recall is that when I asked you, you said, well, Robert, had he just finished the 6th grade or the 8th grade? And you said, oh, I'm looking for something.
I think in 1980, I think he was already graduating. He was,
What? No.
Well, he was born in 65, 75, 80. Oh, maybe all, you know, still, I think in high school.
Maybe
Yeah.
he finished
Yeah.
junior high or something.
So I thought maybe it's time to do something.
Yeah.
By the time we started bingo, see, I think he was about ready to graduate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
See,
right.
so then I thought it was okay to take on something else.
Right. And so, you know, my recollection of that board meeting when Tom Ross was the bingo person, right?
Right.
Did you meet him before? Didn't he just come and do a presentation to the board? And all of a sudden, he said, well, we have to have a bingo manager. And my recollection is that you said, I will do it. I couldn't believe it.
Well, you know, I think that maybe Tom Ross had maybe talked to Chuy ahead of time, and then they did present it to the board. But I think they probably, some people had thought about it before they brought it to the board, is what I think. But I don't know that. But see, at that time, I wasn't working full time. So then I thought, well, maybe it's okay to take on this venture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do remember when your kids were young, you never did work full-time.
Right.
at that time.
I was always part-time.
Okay, so it fit in really well.
Well, it did.
Yeah.
It did.
And Tom Ross, did he come from L.A. or what? Do you remember?
No, he was like a lobbyist here at the Capitol. Yeah, and you know, and I think he was, you know, always looking out for things. But I don't know how he decided, because Sacramento did not have a bingo hall like he envisioned, one that would operate 9 times a week, at bingo every night with matinees on Saturday and Sunday afternoons. So this was going to be something new, because you'll remember Freelancers had a hall at Florin Mall, and then there was some in the north area, but none operated continually like he had planned for.
So on the board, everybody was, I mean, once you said you would do it, and they were off the hook to be the manager.
Right,
I think
right.
everybody supported it, right? I don't remember anybody.
Yeah. No, I think that it was going to be okay, and it was a way to earn money, not from our regular donors, but to get people from the outside coming to support bingo, and
Yeah.
and it turned out to be a good idea. It
Yeah,
really was.
Yeah. So to prepare for it, did you go through some special training before we had the big training for everybody?
Well, see, they had to first get the groups to sign up for the 9 sessions. So we signed up for 3 sessions: Wednesday night, Saturday, Friday, Wednesday night, Friday night, and Saturday
afternoon,
matinees.
yeah.
And then the DDSO group, the developmental, was it
This
developmentally disabled
disabled?
services organization, and then KXPR, KXJZ signed
Oh,
up,
I remember that, yeah.
and Stanford Home for Children.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that filled the 9 sessions for that first year. You know, later there were changes and things. You know,
Yeah.
much later the radio station dropped out, but we stayed, and
DDSO was Amy Nishimura.
Amy Nishimura was
Oh,
the
yeah,
manager.
Yeah, I remember that she
Yeah,
was
she
there for a
was
long
the
time.
CEO and all, and then people ran bingo, but she ran it at first. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, when was it that we gave that session to the Mandarins?
Oh, after our first year,
Oh.
and I believe we started in August, because I remember our the person that taught us bingo was Ann Gordon. She was the Bingo King representative out of Los Angeles. I don't know why Tom Ross got all these people from out of town, and she was our consultant. She taught us how to do bingo. She had those training sessions while the building was being built. Do you remember how there were tables all over, and the caller and the monitors were being trained for their various positions? But she did this for all the groups, and I guess it took many sessions to teach us. And she would come once a month to our meetings to help us with our promotions. You know, we use the same program at all sessions so that a player would know exactly what to expect no matter when they came to play bingo at Mayhew Center.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
what's Bingo King? Is that the
Bingo King is the name of the supplies that we used at that time. And she came to Sacramento for a number of years, and I can't tell you how many, but and she stayed with us the first entire week. She stayed, and I know that I think it was August because. It was Rosh Hashanah, and she was Jewish. And, you know, Tom Ross was Jewish too, remember? Yeah, but anyway, so I know she had to take a little time off, but she was there for us. She was very supportive.
Well, you know, Tom Ross must still, because you said he was a lobbyist, because
Yeah.
I was golfing at Teal Bend one time, and he
Yeah.
was there.
Oh.
I didn't really talk to
Yeah.
him that much, but, you know, so he's still around. But
No,
wasn't he younger?
passed away
Oh, he
last
passed
year.
away?
Yeah, he passed away last year.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. So I did write a clip on his email thing because I thought that, you know, if it wasn't for him,
Yeah.
ACC
Wouldn't have gotten into
probably
that.
not done bingo.
Wow. Was
So-
he younger than us?
No, he's about my age.
oh.
I'm older than you. Yeah,
Okay,
but he's gone. But he used to live downtown, like on 18th and N.
Oh, that's
you know.
why he went golfing
Yeah,
at
yeah,
Teal Bend. Okay.
because you know he did want to meet with me, and then I never did meet with him. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Oh. So you didn't really maintain a relationship
No,
after
not
the
really.
beginning?
Not really.
Okay, okay. So, you know, I was thinking, wasn't where you worked down there too, in that Mayhew area? So
Yeah,
that
I worked at
made it really nice.
franchise tax.
Yeah.
And we were when Mayhew Center opened, I think we were right across the street at Folsom Boulevard and Butterfield. Yeah.
Okay,
So I
so-
know when there was a bingo meeting or something, I just said, well, I have to leave for a little while, and I would just walk across the way to Mayhew Center.
Oh, it was that close?
Yeah, it was that
Oh, I
close.
didn't
Yeah.
realize that.
Yeah, it's a big complex now. There's about 4 or 5 buildings there. But, you know, that was the end of the light rail station. Yeah.
Okay.
But now it goes to
Further?
Folsom.
Oh, okay. You know, getting back to Mandarins, when they first took over, they took over the Saturday session.
Right.
And who was their manager when we first
It was
got
Harry Mark.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I
Harry
don't know who
Mark.
he is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. And I remember Ray Marr was in charge of the Mandarin Drum and Bugle Corps, and Esther used to run the money room. And a little later on, my friend Janet Wong and Bucky.
Oh, yeah, Bucky. And
Yeah.
he was our classmate
Yeah,
from Lincoln
right.
School.
And
Yeah.
they took over.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
but they're still going.
Are
And-
they really?
Yeah, and they've moved to Business Park Drive, so they have a new place. I'm not sure. I think it's still in that area.
Oh, ACC should do bingo again.
Yeah, well, not,
Well, no, with the new manager.
They can.
Or maybe
but
Lori will
without
do
me,
it.
Yeah,
Maybe Lori will do it. Yeah.
I don't think she's as foolish as I was.
But, you know, I want to ask you, how many hours, you know, I mean, I do know that, I mean,
Yeah.
we all had little jobs, but
Yeah.
you
Well-
saw the whole thing.
Well, bingo started about 6:30, you know, with the early bird sessions.
Yeah.
And then we ran till about 10 o'clock. So, you know, I would go about 4 or 5 o'clock. But, you know, we always had ACC support to help us set up the money room and things. But everybody else was not paid.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we ran till 10, and then we probably left shortly after that. It didn't take long once, you know, we put things away. Everything had to be cleared because the next session would be another group, so the money room had to be emptied so that they could
So that's like from
operate.
4:30 to like,
Maybe 11 at the latest.
yeah. So how many
Yeah.
hours did you put in each session we had?
Well, maybe 4 to, well, maybe 6 hours, 5, 6 hours.
So then you did that
Yeah,
later on after we gave the session.
Right,
You,
right.
You did it like for 12 hours a week?
at least.
At
yeah,
least.
Yeah. Plus maybe bingo meetings, and then if we were doing something special, you'd have to maybe go help decorate with the other managers or whatever we needed to do at the hall.
Yeah. So it's at least 12 hours a week that you volunteered. And then
Yeah.
how many hours a week did you work at franchise tax?
Well, at the end, I was up 7 hours a day, but they were good, and and they, you know, it wasn't flex time, but almost. Yeah,
Wow.
they were really nice to me. I had many years there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what I found, and it's the last, I don't know, did you?
Oh, I have some.
You
of
have
I
all
have
of them.
some of those.
Mine
I
are
don't
just-
have all.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know why this was, I found these.
Right.
But, you know,
So
Barbara Sotkan, I think, put these together, right?
Yes, she must
Yeah,
have. Yes.
because it's got, you
Yeah.
know, all our work numbers and comments.
Right.
Like
Right.
Chuck Kobayashi, judge.
Yeah. Right. Right. So.
Yeah. So, oh, Lori, I see Lori's name, parole officer.
Oh, I see.
Francis's daughter, married to Tony Lewis.
I see.
Yeah. But anyway, well, gee. So how did, you know, I think Gene Shimoto found this list of
Yes.
all these bingo volunteers.
Right,
It's
right.
not dated, is it dated?
No, but it
I
must
don't know.
be really.
It's got about 300 names
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
quite
you know?
amazing because it's really old, but you know, I think it's from the early '80s, and I don't even remember some of those
Yeah.
people.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
it's so sad, so many of them are gone now.
That's
you know.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
But to have 300 at one time.
Yeah. So
you know.
how do you think we got those volunteers?
Well, I think mainly from the ACC board. I mean, you know, it was quite diverse. I didn't know everybody on the board well, but they were certainly interested in what we were doing.
Yeah.
So they probably went home and told their children and siblings
Yeah.
and whatever, because you know, it was pretty common to have people that were related to one another come. I mean, just in my own family alone, you know, my sister-in-law was there,
Yeah.
my nieces, and plus my children, and
Yeah, yeah.
and whatever. So I think if everybody did their part,
Yeah.
then we did have volunteers. 'Cause
Yeah.
It took 22 volunteers
Per session.
per session. But some people were once a week, some people were once a month. And somehow ACC, especially Mickey Yamadera, was able to confirm these volunteers. Must have been quite a job with the last minute cancellations
yeah.
and scrambling for people at the last minute. But we managed, and of course, some nights I'm sure we were short, but we did manage.
Yeah. Well, you know, Donna Alfuk
Yes.
and Joyce Sakai were such a big, big part of this.
Oh,
We haven't been able to get their story, you know.
I know we
And,
haven't.
we
yeah.
need to do
And,
that.
you know, hopefully they will change their minds and want to be a part of this, because they were there opening day, and they were there at every session
yeah.
and taking on any position that needed to be filled, and they were very helpful to the new people. I mean, I don't know that all these people received training, but we did on-the-job training,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
as needed.
Yeah.
And so I think that, but they were just a big, big part.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny because the first person I kind of remember in the money room, and I couldn't remember, I told you I couldn't think of her name. It was Nancy. Now I can't think of her last name, but she worked at Jumbo. Do you remember her? And her husband is on the school board now. Isn't that the school board?
Oh,
He's a lawyer.
oh yeah, Daryl.
Wu,
Yeah,
Nancy Wu.
Nancy Wu.
And I thought it'd be interesting to interview her. I mean,
Yes.
because from that little
That's
section.
right.
Because she was pregnant at
That's
the time.
right.
And I
That's
always
right.
say, how old is that bingo baby now?
Oh yeah.
And that baby is really old.
Oh, Allison is her name.
I don't even know her
well,
name.
they lived across the street from me.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh yeah, thank you. I've forgotten that.
I always remember her when I
Yeah.
think of the money room. I picture this pregnant girl in there, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So how, if that was in 83, we did that, how old is she? 83, 17,
Oh.
27, 37. She's close to 40 probably.
Okay.
You know, I can't believe
Yeah.
that. Every
Yeah.
time I see her, I ask her, how old
Right.
is that bingo baby now? You know,
Yeah.
And she gets older and older.
That's
you know?
right.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
for
yeah.
reminding me. Well, your memory's good, Gloria.
No, it's not too great. Well, you know, the one thing I always remember too, we all did it. We never asked about the finances, how much money we were raising or anything. Were you privy to that? Did you know? We just kept going.
No, but Donna and Joyce, they knew, and I remember, you know, I think the first 2-3 years we made the most money. Well, we made a lot the first year because of the
three
third
sessions,
session. Yeah, but I remember a long time ago they used to have these charts that showed how much money had been made. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, but I don't know what's happened to any of that stuff.
Well,
They were on poster boards.
well, I don't even remember
Yeah.
anything like that. I just remember just
Yeah.
going, and
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we didn't really care about how
No,
You know, I mean,
I
it
know,
was.
I know that most sessions were quite successful, and we were doing so well, and I know that we were all excited to be doing so well.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but at one time, didn't they make about 350,000 a year? Was that the first year, you think? That kind of,
Yeah,
I don't know, but other times I thought it was
yeah.
about like
I
250,000 a year.
don't know.
But
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
thought, wow, if we did 250,000 a
I
year
know.
in 4 years, that's a million. I thought
Yeah,
we must have raised millions.
I think we did. I think, you know,
That's amazing. Huh?
I know it really is.
Well, and then another name is Art Tom.
Yes.
He didn't always own. I remember at some point he bought into that building, right?
Well, I think he just, he was partners with this guy, Ross Farmer.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, thank you. See, some things still are in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just thought of that right now.
And then he bought him out and became the.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were the kind of landlords that were just landlords. They didn't come to our meetings to tell us how to make our sessions better. They never helped us with promotions or anything like that. Where our consultant helped us and helped us enough till we were doing it on our own. And I guess we were doing quite well when Art Tom and Ross Farmer took over, that maybe we didn't feel we needed the help either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I kind of remember when
Yeah.
it was time for a new lease.
Yes.
Will was always kind of involved in that part of it too,
because
right?
he was involved with properties in his state work, and
Yeah.
so then when Art Tom wanted to raise the rent, I know that some of the organizations went for it, but somehow we balked, and things were not as pleasant as they could be. But
Did you go to arbitration with him?
yes, we did.
Where do you go for arbitration on something like that? Do you go to the court or what?
I don't know. Maybe I think it was downtown, a private place, and Phil Hiroshima wasn't there, but maybe he was. I'm not sure. There was very few people there, but and then we were able to talk it out and come to an agreement. Yeah, and then I don't know if this, but I think we all had different leases by that time. Because we did this on our own.
So each group did
Yeah,
their
right,
individual lease
right,
with him?
right. Maybe they agreed to what he wanted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, he became one of our biggest supporters.
Yes, yeah.
So,
but
you know.
but it happened after Will passed away.
Oh, so
See,
really?
yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's of late.
Yeah.
The last maybe
That's
20
right.
years or something.
Yeah, and then he just had this really great relationship with us. I mean, I think, is the golf tournament his?
I don't know. 'Cause I
Yeah,
haven't
you
been
don't
doing
know
the golf.
either,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it has been in some past years.
Really? I didn't even know his name was.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think so.
was he one of the sponsors? Or
I
something?
think so, or
Okay,
something.
okay.
Yeah, but no, he's been a wonderful, generous person. And I've seen him here
Yeah.
when we've had the little fundraisers outside.
Yeah, yeah. And what's
Yeah.
interesting is that he was real good friends with Rose
Nagao.
Nagao because her husband Fred was from Marysville or wherever they both came from.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
I didn't know the connection,
Yeah.
but I knew that they were friends.
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
Yeah. What were your fondest, or did you have any fond memories of bingo?
Oh, Will loved bingo. I mean,
He loved all those people there.
He loved to be there, and and he liked ACC, and he was later on the board and all, but he just loved me to do bingo. I mean, he's probably my biggest supporter, and he had a full-time job, but he managed to be there quite often, and he loved to be the floor manager, and you know, he would be the one that had bingo stories to tell because he knew the people better than I did, and some people wouldn't even know we were together because I was always behind the scenes in the money room.
Yeah.
Seeing that.
Yeah, it's some of them didn't know that you were
Yeah.
married.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
so then, no, but I would say that he truly enjoyed what ACC was doing and wanted to promote ACC
Well, you know, he
bingo.
knew some of that early history of ACC because he'd always say, you know, I'd say, well, thank you for this or whatever. And
Yeah.
he'd say, no, it was those other ones, your sister and them at the beginning. He knew that. And now I realize because your niece, Marcia, she took a lot of the pictures of, did you know that?
No.
Oh, I'll show
No.
you. Her name is, it says Marcia, photos by Marcia Lee. And then I read another thing. Did she go to Davis?
No, she went to Sac State.
Sac State? Well, I don't know,
Yeah.
but she got into it.
Yeah.
So she knew Randy, and so
Well,
there's always
yeah,
this connection.
But remember, at that time, we did have lots of students from UC Davis
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
Sac State.
yeah,
And I guess she was one of those. But, you know, she left after she graduated, and she went to teach English in Hong Kong. And then she has a fairy tale story of her own. Yeah.
Look, remember that volunteer party we had, was it last year or the year before?
Oh,
Remember the reunion
yes,
kind of
yes,
party?
Yeah. At the nursing home.
Yeah, and Ted used to ask me, what was it about those volunteers that, you know, well, there was this camaraderie, don't you
Yes,
think?
yeah.
Because we got those free little meals.
Yeah.
And we could chit-chat with each other and
Right,
share a
right,
meal.
right.
But they all, I think, loved to go too, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't mind, well, except for the smoke and all, but
Right.
they didn't mind
Yeah.
coming.
And we did have people that smoked, so some didn't mind going in there. But
Well, I
it,
wasn't a smoker,
it
but
was pretty awful.
yeah,
I know.
I
and-
know that smoke was the only
Yeah.
thing. And right now, sometimes I cough and I think, God, I wonder if that secondhand smoke did anything to me.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how I got the job of being a floor manager too.
Yeah. Oh,
but
no.
I have stories to tell of that
Yeah,
because
you-
remember I used to have
right.
so many winners and everything.
Right.
But
Anyway. And you knew
yeah.
them by name, and
Well, anyway.
and you know sometimes you've had the same winners that night, and yeah.
Well, anyway, is there anything you want to say to any of the volunteers or anything?
Oh no, but I just have so much gratitude for them. I mean, they came from nowhere and they stayed and they seemed to enjoy what they were doing. And I know that even the years after, people still remember the years and the fun they had at the bingo hall, whether they might have just had a little sales job or whatever it was, but they did something, and I think that knowing where the money was going, I think that helped because it was such a great cause. I mean, to have this beautiful nursing, state-of-the-art nursing home that has continued the same reputation over many, many years, I think we should all be proud of what's been done. I mean, because, you know, from our early days, you know, it was kind of sketchy how things were going to end, but
Yeah.
who would have thought it would be what it is today? And
Yeah.
look how much ACC has grown since that time.
Well, I think each person with their little, whatever job they had,
Right.
I think they all felt that they were a part of something big, you know.
Right.
And even those, when I'd go pay off those people, you know, they'd say, oh, I've lost so much money. And
Yeah.
And I'd tell them, you know what? You should come down and take a look at the nursing home you
Right,
helped
right,
build, you know.
right,
Because I said, it's
Right.
really something special. Well,
Right.
I don't think any of them ever came. I'd always
No,
invite them. I'd always say, come, you know, but they never did.
No.
Yeah, yeah. So is there anything else that we might have missed?
we talked and talked.
For
and
being,
talked.
what do we call this, octogenarians.
Yeah, oh,
We
thank,
still
thank
remember
you.
it.
Thank
Well,
you.
you know what I also remember? Do you remember, Francis, when JSEB is big in the East Bay now, you know?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
they came, do you remember they came? I know one of the board people, I knew some,
Yeah.
I can't even, Ben something. He came because they were interested
Right.
in doing bingo
Right.
to, you know,
Right.
raise money for, I don't know if
And
they ever
then
did it.
that group that in San Francisco came, you know, Paul Osaki.
Oh, that
Ye-
NCJCC
Yeah,
or
they
whatever?
came, and then they ran a Mission Street Bingo, you know, and Tom Ross owned that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, yeah, because I think even May Masunaga from here used to go and help them
over there.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that ran for a long time, and
Yeah.
then, you know, Tom had another place in San Pablo.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, now that you, yeah,
Well,
yeah. So he did have other places.
Well-
So and then he moved to the Bay Area, you know.
So what, he was a lobbyist originally, but then he eventually got into owning these bingo places?
I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder how much money he made.
Oh, I think he did all right. I think he did all right.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was married to Hillary Abramson. You know, she wrote for the Bee.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, yeah,
See, that's an
yeah.
aside. I never
and
knew
Hillary is still living.
that. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. Well, you're going to go down in history like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh,
but when they
thank
talk
you.
about bingo,
I
it'll be
see.
Frances Lee and
Okay.
her family, Will and Lori. Yeah. So thank you for all you've done.
Well,
Just think of the
thank
millions
you.
you helped raise.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it ended after 22 years, but I think it's okay.
Oh yeah, how did, when it came to an end, there was a reason for
I
that.
think that, you know, remember electronic bingo? So they were putting the electronic machines into the halls, and there was some question. The Attorney General was not sure they were legal. And of course, in the end, I think they did go in. But at that time, we were purchasing Greenhaven Terrace. And so Phil Hiroshima advised us that probably it was a good time to get out of bingo. And so it was kind of abrupt, but we did it. And somehow we've survived without that income, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, Francis, thank
Yeah.
you so much. It's
Yeah.
been a really great interview. You know, I'm not an interviewer,
Well-
but to me, it's comfortable because it's
It's like two
it's like
friends.
we're two friends having coffee or
Right.
whatever, you know. And we may have missed some important points, but
Yeah.
at least the big bulk of it is there.
I think so.
So thank you.
Well, thank you very much.